Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition. Welcome to this edition of Unpopular Review, the best of Survivor Series. I'm one of your hosts, Bad Guy Jack, but I have a team. So I'm not alone. Bad Guy Jack, and I'm going to put in my other tag team partner, Big Daddy Cool, Steve Pena. What's going on, man? I can't hear you for whatever reason.
That's probably because I had my mute button on. Hi, what's up, man? How's it going?
What's going on? And listen, we're talking Survivor Series, so we got to introduce the team. So my next tag team partner of this evening is the Mark Victor Rodriguez. I'm sorry, I hope I pronounced it. What's going on, brother? What is happening? And
nothing, man. I recently changed my name to Rodriguez.
I know, I botched that. I'm sorry. I botched that worse than Rey Mysterio on Friday night. I apologize, sir. I know I just renamed you. Mm-hmm. I just changed your birth certificate. I apologize, sir. So I'm just going to say the Mark because,
After Regis passed away, Vic decided to change it to Victor Rodriguez.
And we got to have the team captain, and I have a lot to say, actually. So we're going to... I don't know. Can I rename him? I was going to say Chris Kirkpatrick, but then I'm just butchering it on purpose. But the executive consultant, Chris Harris.
In the house, the executive champion, I might add, right? The executive champion, because I am a UPR world champion, right? UPR world champion, that's me.
So I have to say, I saw your match on Strike. And you proved me wrong. You proved me wrong.
3 minutes or less.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
2 minutes and 30 seconds, I beat him.
You beat him. I gotta say, the GM, he's kind of he didn't make it challenging. He made this no hold barred, but nonetheless, you proved that you were the man. And I say salute to you, sir, on being the 2K World Heavyweight Champion. So when I see you next week, drinks on me.
That's what I'm talking about. New York next week. Myself, as well as the technician, will be coming to see our New York correspondents because it's the 2-year anniversary of Unpopular Reviews. All week we're celebrating. We're going to have a lot of surprises, a lot of guests who used to watch with us for years. A lot of former hosts is going to be on. It's going to be a great time. And we're starting off this week with Best of Survivor Series. Survivor Series, this is the 34th episode, so to speak. Survivor Series next Sunday. It's going to be a great time. 2011 was one of the greatest. Yes. You're going to say that, of course, Ricky, because who returned? The Rock returned and wrestled a match with John Cena against The Miz and R-Truth. You are so predictable. It's so freaking annoying. But that's it. Survivor Series 2011 was not the best in my opinion, but it definitely did have a big fight feel, I would say, because The Rock returned. Wrestling match. It was a big fight. CM Punk also won the World Heavyweight Championship from Alberto Del Rio at that pay-per-view with Howard Finkel announcing him to the ring. So definitely give him credit. 1996, one of the greatest in Madison Square Garden, of course, just like 2011. What happened? That was when The Rock debuted Survivor Series.
Hey, do you think like now saying how Ricky just keeps mentioning anything with The Rock, you think when he mentioned The Rock's birthday, like, the day he was born, he said that's the greatest day ever. I don't know. This is just becoming predictable. But
it sounds like Steven's going to fire Ricky because Ricky always is talking about this Rock thing. It is poor quality for the show. Like Rick, we are UPR, not Pornhub. Stop talking about you sucking The Rock off. Like, please stop. And
that's not even really fair because Pornhub is a really lucrative deal, but whatever.
Did you say lucrative or did you say lubrative?
I said one of the words. I don't know which one. It was one of the words.
You definitely said lubrative. So we know what you're doing when you're watching your porno, right?
Well, mind your business, okay? Like, no one questions.
You put it out there on the show for all 5 viewers watching right now, and everybody else is going to watch it later.
Going on 6, it's okay. It's all right. I'm okay with that. But this is not why they came here to watch our show. They came here to hear us talk about Survivor Series, correct?
All right, let's talk about Survivor Series. Survivor Series has been out for 34 years, coming up next Sunday. 33 Survivor Series. Fun fact, this is the second longest pay-per-view in WWE history, only beaten by WrestleMania. Survivor Series, one of what they call the Big Four pay-per-views. This was actually a pay-per-view that was almost canceled 10 years ago after Survivor Series 2009, which happened in Washington, D.C., which is the only Survivor Series yours truly actually attended. That main event was actually for the WWE World Championship for John Cena against Triple H, as well as Shawn Michaels in a triple threat match. Double headline, of course, by The Undertaker defending against Big Show and Chris Jericho for the World Heavyweight Championship. But this is a pay-per-view that I'm really happy about. It's one of my favorite pay-per-views throughout the year. Why? Because I'm a big fan of brand split, and I think that the brand split is saved a little bit and solidified a little bit, as well as legitimized because of the Survivor Series. It makes it feel more special. It makes the brand split feel more special. It makes the matches feel more special. And I thought this was my favorite pay-per-view of last year. Vic, your thoughts?
Well, all right. Now, I remember, and I'm shocked that I remember this, but I remember in 1987 when Survivor Series first came out. Now, the first Survivor Series was really, above all else, kind of a continuation of WrestleMania 3, right? So pretty much like they were just picking up on the heat from Andre and Hogan, and they gave them both teams, and then it went into this whole thing, right? And now, and you know, the years following, one of the things that Survivor Series was very good at was being the culmination to a lot of story building. One of my favorites was the towel match between Bob Backlund and Bret Hart.
94.
And the reason why is because, you know, the whole story that was building up between that was basically like the split between the Hart family. Stu Hart was there, Helen Hart was there. Helen Hart took the towel off of her husband and then threw it in the ring, and then ended up getting Bob Backlund the championship. And earlier in the night, you know, you were pretty much just looking at that whole situation like Bret Hart was just had it in the bag because it's Bob Backlund. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it really, really got Bob Backlund over to the younger generation as a heel. And Bob Backlund at that time was an amazing heel. But, you know, to continue, what I think that once SmackDown came along, and then once they started doing a brand split, it pretty much just became a competition between the brands every year, which is good for now. But one thing that I do miss is just the long-term storytelling that they had. I mean, but at that time, you know, they only had the Big Four, and, you know, around the late 90s, that's when the In Your House started coming out. But, you know, like the build-up to the Survivor Series match, between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. Also, the build up to
Survivor Series match between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
Wait, that Hell in a Cell match wasn't in a Survivor Series?
No. Bad Blood, 1997.
Oh, my bad.
Survivor Series 1997 actually was the Montreal Screwjob between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, which is one of the most talked about wrestling incidents in wrestling history. That happened, ladies and gentlemen, at Survivor Series.
Here's the other thing, though. Like previously in that night, and now the thing about it is that match supersedes everything else that happened that night. But a lot of people forget the Intercontinental Championship between Stone Cold and Owen Hart.
Owen Hart, yeah.
Yeah, like that whole storyline was awesome. The whole thing about the broken neck and this and that, like it was just a good, and they put on a really good match. Even though like that match just gets forgotten about, and that whole storyline gets forgotten about because.
And we're talking about 97, right? I think everything on that card gets forgotten because of the Montreal Screwjob. Like that easily overshadowed everything just because of everything that happened. Now, I don't remember anything on 97. Like, I think Kane had a match against Mankind, right? Like, I think he had a
match against Mankind. I'll actually run through the whole card right now. You have the good ones in New Age Outlaws against the Headbangers and the new Blue Blackjacks, which is Blackjack, Bradshaw, JBL, and Barry Windham. The Truth Commission defeated the Disciples of Apocalypse. Team Canada,
the Truth Commission?
Yes. Team Canada, which is the British Bulldog, Doug Furnace, Jim Neidhart, and Phil Lefton, defeated Goldust, Mark Merrill, Steve Blackman, and Vader.
Mark Merrill.
Kane defeated Mankind. Ken Shamrock, Ahmed Johnson, the Legion of Doom defeated the Nation of Domination. Stone Cold Steve Austin, beat Owen Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. And, of course, the main event, Shawn Michaels defeated Bret Hart by submission for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Jesus Christ! You know what? No wonder nobody can remember the rest of that undercard. It was just so spectacular. The Godwins and Gemini and Mark Barrow is whatever.
So I was going to say the only reason I remember Kane and Mankind was because I'm going to be a nerd right here, but WWE 13 came out and that whole storyline was based on, or the story campaign was based on the Attitude Era. And that was one of the matches I remember they had Kane against Mankind. So I would have not known off the top of my head, but just playing that alone, that's the only reason why I knew. And I'm glad you pointed out all those matches. But I think, once again, like Victor said, there was a lot of other things, but it just easily was overshadowed by, this very real situation.
I forget the year.
Let's talk about it.
But there's another match. There's another match, that Undertaker Yokozuna match. I really, really liked the casket match.
That was also 94. That was also 94. That was
Survivor Series?
Yeah. I really.
They had one at Royal Rumble, which Yokozuna won, and they had a rematch for it at Survivor Series. After the Undertaker came back, he was buried, so to speak, at the Royal Rumble. Came back and had that Undertaker versus Undertaker match at SummerSlam, and then the Survivor Series. No, the Wings, when he was a bat, was actually a Survivor Series 1996 in Madison Square Garden, where he
wrong Undertaker won that match.
The aforementioned Mankind. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, Steven, where you're disrespecting Undertaker, who makes his official retirement.
Listen here, Chris.
Okay.
I gotta be honest with you. Like, I agree to be on the show, but like, I got nothing to contribute. Like, Survivor Series is one of the top 4 pay-per-views. Let's be real. Nothing really of note, nothing really of note has happened on a Survivor Series other than a bunch of fluke debuts and the Montreal Screwjob. Pretty much it. And then the Undertaker doing a bunch of nonsense.
There's been world title changes. There's been world title changes at Survivor Series, right?
Go ahead, name me 20. Go ahead.
And
there's only been 34.
Go ahead, name me 20 title changes. There's a changed hand. Go ahead. See, you can't even do it. You can't. Exactly, because Survivor Series sucks. They should have canceled that shit and replaced it with
hold on, Steven. You're not a fan of Survivor Series?
No, I hate it.
Oh.
Last year Survivor Series was the best pay-per-view of the year.
Recent ones though, because last year's Survivor Series was awesome.
Last year's was a banger. You know why?
Because I thought that was actually really cool. I thought it was really cool. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Steve. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
2016 Survivor Series had a very good Survivor Series.
2016 was cool. That was cool too.
Was good. 2017 had some good matches. The men's Survivor Series was not as good, but the New Day versus the Shield was a very good match.
Oh, that was really good. And and honestly, we're talking about 2017, right? That had potential, but it just didn't live up to it. Because I think that was the one with Finn and Samoa. They were on Raw, right? It was that team.
Yeah, it wasn't as good. Finn and Samoa. They had John Cena and Randy Orton. The other team.
Yeah. But I'm saying they had the potential. Because they had the players, it just did not live up to it. Not like 2016. 2016, that main event was almost like an hour, right? Like close to an hour. 2016.
Can I field that question?
Sure, go ahead.
Brady Allen Corley wants to know, where is Eric Rowan ending up? I'll tell you where. Unemployment.
Here we go.
Wow.
No, you know what? I know we're talking about Survivor Series. Let's talk about this. So Luke Harper leaves WWE. Right? Because I don't do wrestling episodes, right? So Luke Harper leaves WWE, right? And he goes to AEW to do what? Right? He wins the TNT championship. He loses it back to the person he won it from. And then he gets injured. Guess what his big problem in WWE was?
Injured?
Yeah, he got injured. He's injured now. That's what happened in WWE.
Oh, I know what's his big problem in WWE. A dirty shirt.
No, that is a problem. Like, I had my supervisor tell me the other day, like, you Jack, you gotta get it together. So no, dirty. You can't have a dirty shirt. No, I agree.
And I'm glad Chris had that conversation with you.
No, well, Chris
never
tell me anything about me being dirty. No, not lately.
Por medio sucio.
Listen, let me tell you, this Survivor Series, nothing good is happening. Who's peeking over there? Who's that peeking? Who you got peeking over there, Chris?
That's my roommate.
Oh,
I rule, dude. Well, you rule, but I rule under you.
Yo, what's up, Junior?
Well, we got some here. It says, Chris, I have to be honest about the
Hold on. That's Mike Riggs. That's Mike Riggs. Only one person's qualified to read that comment, Steven.
I'm sorry. My apologies, sir. I'm sorry.
Let me get ready. Let me get ready. All right, throw it up. Chris, I have to be honest with you about this, man, brother. About the 1997 Survivor Series, it was a rough night for me as a 7-year-old fan because I had no clue that Bret the Hitman Hart was going to get screwed out of the world title by Shawn Michaels. It was a rough night for Mike Riggs that night. It was probably the best thing that's ever happened.
It was not a screw. Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart. I said this. We had a special.
It was the best thing that ever happened on a Survivor Series. After that, the Survivor Series should have been canceled because
Bret screwed Bret. Bret screwed Bret. Look, you work for a company, right? You work for a company. Everybody knows the rule. You're about to leave the company, you take an L on your way out, right? So you don't screw over the company that made you. This man said, I don't want to lose to Shawn Michaels in my home state.
Did he sound like that?
Yeah, he did. Vince said, we want you to lose. He said, I don't want to lose, and he changed his diaper. Vince said, okay, you want to do business? We'll do business for you. But he screwed himself. He shouldn't have did it.
Wait, but this is something, and it's interesting that you point that out, right? So I don't know everything, right? So, but there's this thing where they were saying Bret had creative control for the last 60 days of his career, contract.
I don't give a damn what he had. He needed to do business.
So, but he was supposed to just drop inside. So there's this conversation, and obviously I'm just going off by what Bret said, right? So I don't know because I wasn't there, obviously. But you have Bret who sit here and say, yeah, I have no problem putting you over, blah, 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 whatever it was. I don't remember the whole thing. Because you asked recently if I do homework, and I think I kind of did. I'm proud of myself. I got to pat myself on the back here. But he pretty much was saying, yeah, I'll put you over, and Shawn, and I think we can all know that Shawn in '97, in the late '90s, he was someone who could not be. He was hard to work with. And you have Shawn Michaels sit here and say, Shawn Michaels said, yeah, that's nice, but I can't do that for you. I don't know. I don't think Bret screwed Bret. I just think that, and I know this is not the conversation about who screwed who, but I just think that Shawn, obviously they had a plan against Bret just because, how real the war was in the late 90s. I just wanted to put that out there because I'm a Bret Hart mark.
This question from Simeon Nowakuski says, I'm sorry to say, wrestling fans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say, wrestling fans don't know what we need to see on TV. Go ahead, Vic.
What we need to see on TV to bring back the mystery of wrestling. It was a work.
Sorry, out there. I don't think you can bring that back.
The problem is in 2020, with all social media being the way it is, and dirt sheets, is no way you can go back to the way it used to be.
You got too many
for God's sake, Undertaker has an Instagram. Like, the guy we used to know was a dead man. Now I'm like, oh wait, he's married. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to go back in those times.
The other thing is just that now they make more money with the internet. The internet kind of gives them the opportunity to interact with fans and do a whole bunch of stuff. So there's way more streams of income now, and I'll give you a perfect example. Xavier Woods, the guy has his own channel. He has his own shop on WWE Shop for Up Up Down Down. Cesaro, it's funny because Cesaro is more of a character in Up Up Down Down than he is in the wrestling ring, in my opinion.
But I feel like that works for certain characters though.
No, it certainly does. But what I'm saying is that people have the ability to get themselves over in other ways. I think that how am I forgetting? Zack Ryder was one of the first ones to take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Well, you say Zack Ryder, but Matt Hardy actually, if you really look at '05, it just wasn't as big as because there
Yeah.
wasn't like there was a MySpace, but there wasn't no Facebook, Instagram at that time. But Zack
Yeah.
Ryder, you could put him as one of the first few. Yeah, you could.
Well, because he pretty much just did his own show, and then whenever Zack Ryder came to New York,
Mhm.
it was just one of those things where he popped the building. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever he came over here, it was just nuts for Zack Ryder because of his YouTube show. Because a lot of people would, and then the other thing is just that like the reason why AEW, in my opinion, the reason why AEW is doing so well is because of the following that they were building from BTE. Because this whole thing pretty much just started with BTE and them just being fools at New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And now it's grown onto this thing where it's literally one of the major parts of AEW. So it's very difficult. I mean, I understand why people would want to go back to the level of mystery. You know what I mean? Because us wrestling fans, like if we knew what was gonna happen, we felt really cool. You know, especially like if we couldn't watch the show because back then we had to pay for the pay-per-view, or if we had the fixed box, maybe we could watch it a little grainy or listen to it and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't just something that you could just see on your phone. So I mean, people just have to accept the fact that it's not the '90s anymore. It's not the attitude.
It's not. It's honestly not going to go back to what that was.
No.
15 years ago, 20 years ago, however long you want to go back to, because it's already out, and once it's out, you can't put it back in. It's almost like
I personally prefer the way that it is now for the women's wrestling. Like, because I'm a fan of the women's wrestling and everything that they're doing in the ring. Mind you, don't get me wrong, I loved the evening gown matches and the lingerie matches and all of that. But that's
I think we all did when we were younger.
that's just that's libido talking, right? But then at the same time, like now with what they're doing with the matches that they're putting together now and the things that they're doing, I think it's great. I'm still waiting for intergender. Mind you, if we do one of these for the Royal Rumble, clearly, spoiler alert, one of my picks is going to be Nia Jax showing up to the Men's Royal Rumble because I popped like crazy when I saw that. You know what I mean? Even though it was just a moment, I was just like, "Oh, all right, they really doing this."
I agree. I agree with you, Vic. I think that Lana has definitely revolutionized the women's wrestling, and she's definitely must watch every week.
Hold up. Vic,
no, here's the thing about Lana. She's got incredible mic skills, bro. Lana can definitely be used.
She can't hold her own in the women's division. Why would she hold her? No, I can't listen to this.
Listen, hold up a second, Chris. Don't disrespect Lana because guess what? Lana is going to be the sole survivor next Sunday. This is not a prediction show. We're going to do that next week.
Oh my God!
Right now, Lana is going to win for Team Raw. Thank you.
No, you know what?
Let me tell you something.
Okay. With all of these like table slams and all the shit that she's taking, that would make a lot of sense. Hey, hang on 1 second. Somebody's
going to make her. It's making her stronger.
How is Lana defeating somebody like Bianca Belair? That doesn't make sense.
That bothers me right there. Like, yeah, I asked that. Like, she would have to get a count out loss.
Listen, she can be the EST, but listen, what Nia is doing is building character, building. Listen, steel, iron sharpens iron, right? That's what's happening right here. Thank you.
I've read that in a Superman comic.
And here you go, Brady. I'm sorry, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Listen, half the people on AEW can't wrestle either. But hey,
Lana is.
I can't either, but I'm here.
Hello.
Oh, Selena Vega's from Queens. Don't be hating on Selena Vega. You understand? Selena Vega is one of the best. She's one of the best talkers, and she is fine as hell.
Who is this guy? Who's this person in the chat?
That's BAC. He's BAC. That's BAC.
Let's go ahead and answer this question from Charmaine. Charmaine asks, "What are your favorite Survivor Series match?" Ron, you can start off.
So this is rough, but I actually was watching something where they were talking about matches. I would say, I think for me, it's rough to say because I really feel like I would have to watch a bunch of them. But 2016 was a really dope match. Like I really thought that was a really fun match. I thought what was really good about it is the participants that was in the match, and I love that there was a lot of time given in there. I love that. What I love about that match was that while it was Raw versus SmackDown, they still had this ingredient to put. Well, let's point out why. So, like, okay, Dean Ambrose. Okay, AJ Styles was the champion, right? But he was still feuding with Dean Ambrose, aka John Moxley. And I love that. I love that they still put that in there. That these guys were still feuding with each other. Like they were obviously a team because they had to represent their brand, but they did not like each other. I love that. I love that feature. It's probably not the best Survivor Series match, but on top of my head, that really hits. That I'm sorry. That hits me. It made me go like, "Wow, this was a really good match." And I love the little mini Shield reunion, and I knew that was going to happen. I remember watching it, and they security was blocking Dean Ambrose, and then you see Seth and Roman, and they sit here and break it. They break it up, and then they do the Shield power bomb. I don't know, that match had a lot of stuff that was really good to me. So I thought 2016 was really really good. I saw this countdown not that long ago, and the number one match was 2001 Survivor Series, which could have been better had they had the right players. But I think 2016 that sticks out to me. So I would say 2016 was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's disappointing because Dean Ambrose was in it.
Well, I'm sorry. I disappoint everybody.
With that kind of response, we're going to talk about Stevens in a second. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Be watching Best of Survivor Series on Popular Review. We'll be right back. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen.
The figure sucks.
My name is Bond, James Bond. My instructions were implicit. I was to leave for Jamaica in 2 hours. License to kill.
You know what's crazy? I wish I would have watched these movies prior to seeing Austin Powers.
Ron, you saw that ad for Dr. No?
I did see it.
And did you see that James Bond is wearing like a teal blue pants and also matching teal blue polo? Is that a fashion faux pas?
I mean, now hearing you say this, yeah, it must be a big time faux pas. It's terrible.
Who
There
are
wasn't
you?
enough baby oil.
Obama.
Ladies and gentlemen, in respect to Sean Connery, we'll be reviewing Dr. No on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Sorry if you offended anybody, but no, we don't get offended.
Hold on. We don't get offended. We just, listen, we're big boys here, and we can speak our truth, and so can you. You
That's
can speak
right.
your truth in the chat, and we're big boys. We can take it, and I just want you to know that you're completely wrong
What
about
are we
both
taking?
Lana and Zelina. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't offend anybody. Wait,
That's right.
Who
Please-
defends anybody? Yeah, we're big boys. We carry stuff, and
Yeah.
we have baby
Everybody's-
oil, so we're good.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you see, Brady. I want you to be here next week, man, because on the post show after Survivor Series, I want you to be here in the chat, and I want to see you face to face when Lana wins. I'm telling you, either you're going to tell me
Make sure
that
you
I suck
you
and I'm
like-
not, and I'm wrong.
Wait,
That would
Steven,
be
I'm going to see you. That's Survivor Series next week, right?
Yeah. Lana ends up
Make sure you
Great.
like, love, and share. Make sure you like, love, and share this video to all your wrestling timelines and groups. I'm the executive champion up there. Right there is none other than Bad Guy Jack. To his right is none other than Big Daddy Cool, and down below is the Mark Victor Rodriguez. Talking about the best of Survivor Series. What are your favorite Survivor Series matches? Big Daddy Cool, you are next in line. What are your favorite Survivor Series matches?
Listen, my favorite Survivor Series match is an instant classic. I'll eat my poop if Lana wins. My man, take a picture and send that shit to Unpopular Review Facebook page,
put salt on
and we
it.
will
Put
post
salt.
that shit. He
Put
said,
salt
"Just
on it.
kidding."
Put salt
Put
on
salt on it. Put
it. Put
whipped
salt
cream
on
on
it.
it.
And baby oil.
and baby oil. My favorite Survivor
go.
Series match. Listen, I started opening very harshly about a Survivor Series, and I stand by my comments. Survivor Series is the worst out of the four original four pay-per-views. The best match is by and large the Jerry Lawler and his team of midgets versus Doink and his team of midgets from some Survivor Series in 90 something. I don't even remember. Who gives a shit? That's the best one. That and the fact that
94.
Bret Hart took his ball and got the fuck out of WWE. That was the best time. Who's tomfoolery?
You. Because why, of all the matches that happened in the 34 years of Survivor Series, why would you pick Doink and the vertically challenged people against whoever he fought? I don't even remember who he fought right now.
It was Jerry the King Lawler. Jerry the King Lawler.
You had all the stuff.
Jerry Lawler and Queasy and Weezy, like you're doing tomfoolery.
You remember their names. It was that much of a classic. Chris, don't tell me that you don't remember that match. Out of all the stuff that you remember like fucking when Bob Backlund jobbed to fucking Iron Sheik and shit from like back in '73.
Why you make it sound like Chris has been living a long time? Like Chris was around when
Chris prides himself in trying to be the fucking Wikipedia of wrestling. He's be here like, that happened. No, that happened. That didn't happen in '92, Vic. That was '91. Fuck out of here, Chris. I bet you're making half that shit up when you fucking say shit like that.
I don't. Fact check.
That's fucking bullshit. Listen, that's the best match.
Next?
Name me a better match. Any of four of you.
Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar in 2016 was amazing because of the shock.
You're out of your mind. The one that everybody booed out the building?
That was definitely shocking. But I was very upset. I'm not gonna lie. And originally when it happened,
I was upset too, but
I was upset at that.
Value of it, had people talking. If you want to go a year later, Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles, 2017 Survivor Series.
Oh my God, that was so great.
Now we talking about midgets now.
So I gotta sit here and say this. I'll sit here and say this. When we were talking about Best of Survivor Series, not realizing that it didn't have to be the Survivor Series match. It could literally be because that was dope. But I would ask you boys this. What did you guys think was better, AJ versus Brock or Brock versus Daniel Bryan?
AJ versus Brock was better than Brock versus Daniel Bryan. Even though Brock versus Daniel Bryan was also very, very good.
I thought that was really good. Really good.
I did go with AJ, and I watched that at Jack Dempsey, honestly. Brock versus Daniel Bryan. But AJ versus Brock Lesnar, I thought was a better match. As far as greatest matches, I'll also put up there 2001. Shout out to Ricky. Team WWE versus Team WCW, ECW, better known as the Alliance. I thought that was a very good match with The Rock, as well as Chris Jericho, Undertaker, and Kane and Big Show versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, and Shane McMahon. I thought it was
House Rate. That was
very
I really wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you if I can. I just wanted to ask you because that's your opinion. Cool. But so and I guess I look at it like this. So it was basically the Alliance, WCW, ECW against WWE, right? And obviously WCW they couldn't have all the people. They couldn't have everyone because a lot of people set out on their contract. So what did it for you in this? For you to sit here and say this was the match for you. Why was that your match?
It was a lot of stakes on the line, right? It was still two different brands, so to speak, which I thought was good. And it was like 10 of the greatest superstars of all time.
What stakes? Omaha Steaks?
Steaks. STAKES. It was a great match. I enjoyed it. I can still watch it. I thought it was the best, possibly the second best, in my opinion, Survivor Series elimination match of all time. The first I thought was in 2016, which Ron mentioned earlier. I thought that was the best one of all time. I thought I was very well booked from beginning to end. I enjoyed it. Nobody looked weak.
Booker T was the only WCW original. Who else was there?
That doesn't matter. That's not what.
It doesn't. It does matter. That's why that matters.
No, it's not. I picked the quality of the match. The quality of the match was very, very good. The fact that almost everybody was under contract with WWE at the time and not WCW, ECW is irrelevant. That was a great match. Period.
It was a match. It was a match about a takeover of WWE, and then they took most of the WWE superstars and put it on a fake faction.
Going into the match,
Yeah,
I think that doesn't mean anything. It was a great match. When you look at the match, it was entertaining. It was edge of your seat. It was a good match. Just because you're a hater doesn't mean. Oh God, read this.
Chris, I can't see you. Chris!
Oh yeah, Survivor Series 94 was another one. Sure made me upset because Bret Hitman Hart was in his second World Wrestling Federation Championship title run, and then Owen, the King of Hearts Hart, told his parents to toss the towel in, and I was so upset that Mr. Bob Backlund became a 2-time World Wrestling Federation champion, and I remember watching that up at the time, and I was 4 years old, Ron. 4 years old in 1994. 4.
All right, let's take it out. 1994, we talked about that. The 1994, which actually produced a lot of memories. Chuck Norris was at that event. I'll shout that out. We had the Undertaker versus Yokozuna.
Did you just make that up? How do you know this?
Chuck Norris was at that event.
Chuck Norris was at that event?
Chuck Norris was at that event, yes. He said what, Vic?
Which one was the one with Bill Clinton and Sonny? Where Sonny was sitting on Bill Clinton's lap.
What?
That was a WrestleMania.
Wait,
That was Survivor Series?
No, it was a WrestleMania.
I'm looking this up. Wait, she said on Bill Clinton's lap?
It was a Bill Clinton.
Bill
It was a
Clinton's
fake
man.
It was a fake. It was a fake Bill
man.
Clinton. It was a fake Bill Clinton. I want to say that was WrestleMania.
Oh, that wasn't really Bill. Oh, okay.
It was not. I want to say it was WrestleMania 12, but it might have been WrestleMania 10. It probably was WrestleMania 10 in 1994. 1994 was a big year, apparently. But that's what.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these things. That match, Chris, was good because who got the final pin? Yes, The Rock got over Stone Cold. God, I just want to fire you when you keep talking about this because nobody else does.
Can you do that on air? Wait, Chris, do it on air. Go ahead, do it.
Raw vs. SmackDown vs. AET. Sami Zayn is my favorite. Sami Zayn is very underrated. Best heels. Hollywood Hogan was a great heel. That is true. Derek Mitchell says the alliance features Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Booker T, Robert Van Dam, Shane McMahon versus Team WWE. See, Derek Mitchell agrees with me. Steve, you're wrong.
Derek is cool.
Brady says yes, Chuck Norris was at the Taker. Yeah, 1994. I was right. Patrick Nelson says I have a lot of Survivor Series favorite moments.
Post them.
Patrick,
Post them, man.
You want to post them or actually join in? Send me a message and I'll let you join in so you can talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about Survivor Series.
Chuck Norris was at Survivor Series. Mike Riggs says Chris Harris and the rest of Yep, I Like Wrestling. I apologize for my long comments. Nothing to apologize for. Keep them coming.
Apologize. We love them, Mike.
It's just funny, Mike. It's funny. Keep them coming.
It's great. It's great.
Let's talk about other good moments. 2017, before I get to Vic and he tells me his favorites. 2017. I thought it was the weakest one of the Raw versus SmackDown series, but Team Raw, Team versus Team SmackDown at the end, after Triple H won the match for Team Raw, him and Braun Strowman.
Oh, that's the one where he pedigreed Shane, right? It was him and Braun Strowman.
Pedigreed Shane. Braun Strowman grabbed Triple H and said, if you ever cross me again, it'll be the last game you ever played. And the look on Triple H's face is a highlight reel.
It is. It's a meme. It's literally a meme.
Yeah, it was. Right. It was really, really good. So I'll give credit to that. But 2017. Go ahead.
When Kevin Owens became champion, wasn't that a Survivor Series too? When Triple H handed him the belt.
Yeah, it was 2016. No, it wasn't
Monday Night Raw. That was a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
Finn just dropped the title because he was injured.
Big match that like Triple H was a part of, and he was. You sure that was a Raw?
That was Raw.
Ask me if I'm sure or something.
Yeah, because I remember it being like a big deal, like a big shocker when
that was on Raw. No, Chris, and I hate to agree on anything with Chris, but he's right. It was on a Raw.
You just asked me if I was sure or something.
No, I just remember Kevin Owens getting that Universal Championship being
on a Raw. It was a Monday Night Raw, bro.
It was. He's right.
You're definitely not sure about your fake plants in the back.
Okay.
Hey, let me ask you a question since you want to go see. So let me ask you a question, right? You have a book bag in your background. Is that your hunting device for when you kill the crickets? Because I know so everybody might wrong. You got the crickets played in the background, like like your.
Yeah, you still.
You know that the crickets only show up when David's on with me.
He got it. All right, so
That's Monday Night Raw review, guys. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. After
I'll be there
Monday Night
tomorrow.
Raw review.
all right, let's see. Last year's Survivor Series one of the greatest. That's definitely true. I was there. Jack Dempsey was actually. I know Vic was there because I sat at the table, and I believe Steven was there also last year because I think
I was there too. But
you were there. But I didn't talk to you as much of that. I remember talking to Ron the most at War Rumble next.
Yeah, because you got mad at me about a poll I did. Yeah, that's exactly why he spoke to me mostly. But right, yeah.
Miz was the best heel. They turned him face. Miz is a good heel. Who
Miz
care
is
about the
face
Rock?
now?
Charmaine. So when you put up comments like this, Charmaine, if Rick says something smart to you, don't hit up my inbox. That's all I'm saying. Because you're eliciting. I'm sorry, a response from him. So if you say something about Ricochet, understand David's going to say something to you, right? Because you're insulting his man. If you say something about Matt Riddle, understand Dylan's going to say something to you because you're insulting his man. You insulted The Rock. So Ricky has a clapback.
His man.
So you're insulting The Rock. If Ricky has a clapback, I can't say anything about it because you're purposely baiting him to say something to you. I want you to remember that. Derek Mitchell says, I repeat it again. The 1990 Survivor Series match, Demolition, Axe Smash, Crush, Mr. Perfect vs. Ultimate Warrior, Kerry Von Erich, and Legion Doom. That was the main event of that Survivor Series. Also, very, very good. That was in the year.
That's when they tried to.
1989 from Rosemont, Illinois. Looking forward to that. Ricky J. Pace says the millions due, and can you stop taking shots at me? See? Ricky's in his feelings.
Chris, do you remember these? How do you remember these dates, Chris?
My name is Chris. Doom versus Cole from last year.
That was a good match. That was last year.
That was a good match.
That was last year?
No, it wasn't. Ricky just mentioned that because he's from the UK and he picked a guy from the British
no, that match
style,
was
whatever
actually really good. That match was really, 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 really good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He bites his knuckle or bites the belt.
The best Survivor Series match for me was the Bret Hitman Hart versus Big Daddy Cool Diesel in a no DQ matchup from the 1995 Survivor Series in Washington, D.C. That's true. Capital Center.
I wanted to ask you guys on air because 1990 was when Undertaker debuted, correct?
Correct. Survivor Series 1990.
But
from
it was Heart of Darkness.
No, I asked that because that's where he debuted, but I also learned just as recently as yesterday where, like, I'm a Bret Hart fan, so I'm a mark for him, right? So, but what'd you say?
We don't know why, but go ahead.
Oh, okay, shiny head. So my point is that he's in this match, but I heard that was like the breakout, and that was one of the things that made him stood out as a because he was still a tag team wrestler at that point, correct?
So what year?
1990.
1990, he was still part of Hart Foundation, correct?
Yeah, and I'm saying that was kind of not saying he was a single wrestler yet, but that was the thing what made you realize he could be a single wrestler. So I'm just asking because, I mean, you guys are slightly older than me, so I asked you guys, like, what do you remember off that? Why is everyone looking at me like that? So, like, I'm asking because I'm saying, what do you remember from the 1990 Survivor Series match?
I'll start. I'll tell you what I remember from it was absolutely nothing. Because Survivor Series is shit fucking pay-per-view, and I don't try to log jam my fucking memory with shitty fucking pay-per-views, especially not ones where the fucking Undertaker showed up. That's for goddamn sure.
Okay, fair enough, Steve. Fair enough, and I can't wait to do a recap show with you, Victor, because I'm gonna save it for. I'm gonna wait for Chris to be the last person.
You know what? I'll go recent.
Mm-hmm.
The one where Dolph Ziggler was the sole survivor.
That was 2014. Yeah,
that was Team Cena versus Team Authority.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I like it is because you didn't see that coming. The whole thing
most women.
The whole thing with Dolph Ziggler, you didn't see that coming. So, like, I really enjoyed it, and like I was just happy for him because that was the first time that he had ever gotten like somewhat of a push in a long time. But then at the same time, like Dolph Ziggler is always somebody that can deliver. You know what I mean? And it's
Like a
sad because,
mailman
yeah, no, because they use him
or
for
Amazon.
anything that he can deliver. Like, and a perfect example is like I remember when AJ Styles, I think, first became the champion.
Mhm.
Dolph Ziggler is one of the people that they threw at him right away because Dolph Ziggler knows how to make somebody look good. When Drew McIntyre showed up, they put him with Ziggler because Dolph Ziggler, you know what I mean? Like, so that
Fair
night,
enough.
like, real happy for him.
Good.
Because I felt like they were going to, like they were putting the rocket to him that night. And mind you, the work that he did that night was beautiful. Like he put it on a show. It was crazy because it was like, I think he was the sole survivor and he had like 3 people to eliminate and ended up winning.
That was the night where Sting actually debuted. And I
Oh
do
yeah,
know. Matter of fact, his is slightly compared to, but Chris, you asked earlier what was your favorite. You was asking what's your favorite Survivor Series match, right? And I didn't even think about it because I remember watching this one time in my lifetime. But 2003 was a really good one because Shawn Michaels put on one hell of a performance in 2003, where it was Team Austin against Team Eric Bischoff, and I do remember where it was 3-1 or Survivor Series. I think Survivor Series. It's probably my second favorite. I like SummerSlam because one, it's in August. I'm born in August, so I'm biased. But I think Survivor Series, you can create a lot of great stars. Now, granted, Shawn Michaels was already established in 2000, but the fact that he showed that he still had it in 2003, where it was 3-1, and I see you bobbing your head, Steven. I see you. I wish you know I see you, brother. But the fact that he was able to, it was 3-1, and you order, and this is a high school version of me at the time. I'm like, oh yeah, Shawn is gonna lose, and to see how he was able to deliver in that match to make you believe that he could win. And I'll never forget the last person he faced at the end was Randy Orton, which was hilarious. In 2005 was the same thing, but obviously different circumstances. But Shawn Michaels was able to deliver, and I don't even know why I brought all this up because I just wanted to talk. But Survivor Series is supposed to be one of these things where you kind of believe, and Shawn Michaels was someone who could deliver in this match, and he reminded me at that time that he reminded me at this time like what Survivor Series is supposed to be and what it's supposed to be about. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Let's go ahead and talk about 2004 from Dallas, Texas. That was highlighted by Triple H defeating Goldberg. I'm sorry, Goldberg defeating Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship for that one.
2004?
Oh,
No, because Goldberg was going.
2003.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Gotcha.
2003. Patrick mentioned earlier, 2007. There was a Hell in a Cell match between Batista versus Undertaker, which was a very good match. 2006, Batista versus Booker T, King Booker, for the World Heavyweight Championship, which Batista won. So, I mean, there was a lot of good moments, Steven. There was a lot of good moments from Survivor Series from, years, all through the years. But we'll talk more about it as we get into our final segment of the night. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, after this last commercial break. Stay with us. Unpopular review, best of Survivor Series. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Bond, James Bond. My instructions were implicit. I was to leave for Jamaica in 2 hours. License to kill.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're right back here with Unpopular Reviews. Best of Survivor Series edition. I am none other than the executive champion, joined today by Big Daddy Cool Vic, as well as Bad Guy Jack, as we talk about the best of Survivor Series. Please make sure that you like, love, and share this to all your Wrestling Timelines groups, and join us on our social media, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, or Twitter. We're all over social media, and we expect you to follow us all over social media. And we're talking about our best of Survivor Series moments, which has been a lot of them. This person right here says Survivor Series 1990 is the greatest. Survivor Series 1990 is known primarily for debut, Steven.
Honestly, like I really like Survivor Series '96, and I'll tell you why.
Talk about it.
Square Garden in New York.
It was here, right? But it was also it was number one, Bret Hart putting the rocket ship on Stone Cold because Bret Hart just came back. It was like the first appearance of Bret Hart after losing at WrestleMania 12, and it was the night that Shawn Michaels dropped the belt to Sid, right? So now, mind you, it was because I feel like it was perfect booking. You know why? Because the smart marks in New York, they were already booing Shawn Michaels, and all right, they were already booing Shawn Michaels and starting to pop for Sid. So here, when Sid came out, they popped for Sid like crazy, and then Sid ended up getting the belt. And mind you, Jose Lothario was in the mix and all of that. And then what they ended up doing is that they ended up taking that whole storyline, taking it to Texas, going to the Alamo Dome, and then doing that whole thing with with Shawn Michaels getting the belt back at the Royal Rumble, which was also like, and that was such a big thing because they even changed JR, because JR, that was the first night he wore the hat and never took it off again. Like, so like that, just the whole transition and everything that happened between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble that year, I really liked, because after that, then everybody was just, had the strap and rocking to the moon. I really think that match that Bret Hart had with Stone Cold that night really put him over the hump.
Definitely, it was a very good match between Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's talk about 1996 Survivor Series. Madison Square Garden had a lot of good matches. Undertaker versus Mankind, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart, Psycho Sid defeating Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight Championship, which was actually a very good match. I enjoyed it a lot. Steven, you had some thoughts before you get punched in the face. What are your thoughts?
Was Chuck Norris at this one too? Who is the celebrity in this pay-per-view, Chris?
There was no celebrity in this one.
Oh, Chuck Norris wasn't at this one?
No.
Wow, that's a shame.
John Cena versus YGJ for the World Championship.
Before I go into, I will agree with Vic. This was a really classic match. The complete fact that it was an I Quit match and Austin refused to quit, and his face was just all bloodied, and like it's iconic. It's so amazing.
Wait, I think you're mixing up pay-per-view.
Get up with WrestleMania 13.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant. That match was way better than this one because it happened on fucking WrestleMania, not Survivor Series.
You're such a jackass. Survivor Series has brought on some good moves. We just mentioned it. Multiple world title changes. Great 5-on-5 Survivor Series matches. Debuts: Rock, Austin, Angle, who debuted in 1999. Elimination Chamber, the first ever Elimination Chamber.
I like that you glossed over the
2002. 1998, somebody mentioned it earlier. 1998 was not a Survivor Series elimination match there, but it was a tournament for the World Heavyweight Championship, which The Rock won his first world title from, which was very good. Survivor Series 1998 in St. Louis, Missouri. Deadly game. Great event. Great time. Got to give respect for the Survivor Series.
I think Survivor Series, if I can throw in, it's probably my second favorite, and I think it's inconsistent in a lot of ways, but it's still a pretty fun pay-per-view when done right. I have to ask you guys this. 2020, do you guys feel like Survivor Series is still the same? Does it still feel the same to you? I know 2020 has been a really, haha kind of year, but do you guys feel that same way in 2020?
No, everything is phoned in now. It's not going to be, because they're doing what they can. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, it's hard. It's very difficult to compare. I mean, like, I think that if you a couple of years from now, when hopefully things are better, they'll actually be able to do something with production. I mean, because look, even last year, like, because look, the main thing that I miss is the build-up, right? But unfortunately, they don't necessarily have that ability to do so anymore. Because look, last year Survivor Series literally happened, I think, right after a Saudi show.
It did. No, you're right, because it was Saudi was maybe Wednesday, right? And Friday night they for whatever reason they didn't have all the members for SmackDown, but they had NXT there and they were able to hype it up. No, I get what you're saying. I guess I asked that question. I don't know, Chris. Did you want to say something? Did you want to contribute?
Let's talk about some buildups because Vic is talking about. So let's talk about some buildups. I think he said, "Do I feel the same way about Survivor Series as I did?" I was never really a fan. I was much like this hater up there, Steven. I was never really much of a fan of Survivor Series growing up. Since the second version of the brand split, I've been much more of a fan. 2016 had a huge. 2011 had a huge buildup. Don't get me wrong. But 2016 had a very huge build-up. So 2014 had a very huge build-up because they had Bill Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Even though you might look at it and roll your eyes or something like that, that was a huge match going in. That was very well built up going into that pay-per-view.
That match got booed out the goddamn. I'm pretty sure. I think that was in New York in MSG. I think I was in the building. It got booed out the building.
It was in Toronto, Ontario,
both of you go.
WrestleMania 20.
Right.
That's right.
It was in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and people were looking
where the better match happened.
It was a very well built up match. They had the 5-on-5 men's match. They had a 5-on-5 women's match. It was a really good Survivor Series card. The match was very well done. In 2017, even though I thought the 5-on-5 matches were not done well, they had the invasion. I think it was I forgot what the pay-per-view was. It might have been TLC.
What?
It was TLC. They had a TLC pay-per-view, and then the next night, Shane McMahon and the entire SmackDown roster came and invaded Raw. That was really well talked about for a couple weeks. Everybody was waiting for Raw to have their rebuttal, right? And they kept waiting until the final SmackDown where Raw came down and they destroyed SmackDown. I'll never forget. They destroyed SmackDown, but it was so well talked about because of the invasion. It made people happy. In 2018, the very first episode of UPR happened when Becky Lynch had that incident with Nia Jax where she broke her nose.
Oh, she broke her nose, right?
Right. But people talk about that broken nose incident. But if you go back and watch that, that was when SmackDown invaded, and nobody expected SmackDown to invade at that time. But SmackDown invaded Raw, and it was very, very well done. Steven, you like doing little jokey memes things that you do so much? I remember a couple weeks ago, you did a joking meme because the incident with Natalya and Zack Ryder, when it was Zack Ryder.
Oh, I know that meme.
That happened at that very Raw where SmackDown invaded Monday Night Raw. So that was also very well done.
She grabbed his crotch.
Yeah, that was in 2018. In 2019, as Vic disappointed, they had the Saudi show. People got stuck. They brought NXT over and it invaded SmackDown. That was one of the best SmackDowns of last year, right? It was very, very well done. So
it was a good one.
What I really appreciate more about Survivor Series now is the fact that I think it legitimizes the brand split because it makes it feel special. 2019 last year, Brock Lesnar fought Rey Mysterio. It was a 6 or 7 minute match, but it was a very good 6 or 7 minute match. I remember I was there with you all. It was very good. The year before that,
you was at Jack Dempsey that year, right?
Jack Dempsey. Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. Very well done. Very well done. Very well. I'm sorry, not AJ Styles. Daniel Bryan. Very well done. Very good match.
I thought that was a really good match.
Was Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles, which is also a very good match. They put on good matches. I mentioned the New Day Usos. They had a phenomenal match. Also the year before that, was Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey, yeah.
That was a great match. There's so many good matches at Survivor Series. I'm looking forward to Survivor Series 2020. Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton will be really good.
Yeah.
You don't see Drew winning that title.
No, I do see Drew winning the title.
Okay.
Drew's gonna win.
Huh?
Drew is gonna win.
Oh, so you think Drew's gonna win? What about you guys in the bottom? What do you guys think?
Randy Orton.
I think that Miz is gonna win the title at some point.
You think he? Hold on. I want to ask you guys this because I'm a wrestling nerd. Does anyone here think Miz cashes in and succeeds on cashing in on Randy Orton?
No.
If not Randy Orton, then maybe Roman Reigns, but he's definitely going to succeed in his cash in. I see that happening.
Oh, you do see
Wrong.
it?
No, I mean, like, he might just hold the box for a long time, but I definitely see him cashing in and winning. I don't see him.
Miz,
as much as I would like to see it, because most people know Miz is my favorite wrestler, I think he's going to cash and fail.
Miz is your favorite wrestler?
I don't think he's going to cash and fail again because he did that already. I think he's definitely
No, he never failed at it. He never failed.
Oh no,
that
the first
Damien, Damien Sandows failed.
Yeah. That's
Miz is going to attempt to cash in and realize that he doesn't have the contract. Otis still has the contract.
That would be hot. That would be
hilarious. I didn't.
Otis has the contract in the lunchbox, and Miz is going to be left empty-handed.
To bring Otis back into the fold, that would be hot because now, like,
not happening because the stipulation was the contract, not just the briefcase.
Double check.
No, I mean, because
well, there you go. Chris pays attention to the details.
For the briefcase.
Bigger now, and like if Miz were to win the championship, I think that would definitely pop as well. The guy is a really, really big heel. So like, I would definitely like to see him as a heel champion right now, and just talk his shit. You know what I mean?
So can we? I know this is about Survivor Series, but Miz as a champion, and what was this? Late 2010, 2011. What did you guys?
2016.
Yeah.
No,
it was like 2010 to 2011. Right. It was definitely 2010. I remember this because it was weird. But I asked you guys this because I'm not a fan. Oh, Miz did. What is it?
All right. Agree to disagree.
They're not trying to build. Yeah. So here's my thing. So they try to hype it up like just the one time a year that Raw versus SmackDown, but it don't feel that way. And I think they got some really intriguing matches for this year. Like, I think if you was to ask me, well, what match are you intrigued about 2020? Right? I think New Day and Street Profit is going to be a really good match. Asuka against Sasha. I'm sorry, my pronunciation is all over the place, but I think that's going to be a good match. But at the same time, but at the same time, that was already happening over the summer, so that's my. But that doesn't mean that match isn't going to be good because I think you have two good participants here. Vic, where are you going?
I'm just getting a bottle of water. That's all.
No, I'm just messing with you, bro.
He's stealing it from a coworker's desk. He's just taking it.
But you have, I feel like Bobby is going to destroy Sami Zayn. Like, Sami Zayn is good, but I feel like I don't know what move Bobby's going to beat Sammy with, but I just feel like there's going to be an explosion, like Michael Bay style.
I can tell you what move. It's going to be the Hurt Lock. He's going to put his big,
and he explodes,
dirty beard
right?
in the Hurt Lock, and then make him tap.
He hits him with the Hurt Lock, and he explodes like Michael Bay movies. And then there's a Linkin Park music video playing in the background, but
in the end, and then the Hurt Business is just going to walk away from the ring, and the ring explodes. Like it's all fire.
But
do a slow walk.
I think there's some really good stuff here for 2020. I don't think SmackDown have all 5 guys for the male spot, right? That not every spot is filled, right?
No, yeah.
They have one that I think is going to go Lars Sullivan. Or
I was thinking Big E.
No, that's the SmackDown.
Or Big E, Lars Sullivan or Big E, possibly Rey Mysterio.
Would
He's
be nice.
SmackDown guy, right? Nah, I think Big E, but fair enough.
Raw is gonna smash them. Like it doesn't matter who they can put in that 5th spot. Like Raw has got big dudes, big magic happening.
Let's talk about the male. Male wise is not females does not finish either, right? And Survivor Series is
SmackDown has 2 slots. Raw has Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose.
Yo, that's inappropriate, Chris. Why are you gonna call them 2 slots? That's rude. Just because they're women?
What are you talking about? I said 2 slots.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you said something else.
No, they have SmackDown has 2 slots left. I know Natalia's probably going to.
Natalia is going to be on that team somehow.
Natalia's going to get one, and the other person I'm not sure yet.
It's going to be Liv.
So, I mean, do you guys want to do predictions here right now, or you want to save that for a later show?
No, that's going to be next week. That's going to be next Sunday.
Fair enough. But
it doesn't matter. Lana's going to win. Lana's going to win the whole match. I'm telling you right now.
Can I ask this question?
Sure,
Steven, you said Lana's going to win, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. I was listening to something earlier, and someone mentioned that, and it blew my mind.
It apparently blew your connection too.
Huh?
Apparently blew your connection too, because we didn't hear the end of that question.
You were frozen for a while.
I was out. Cool.
Yeah.
So I was saying,
repeat your question.
Okay, so I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they mentioned Lana was going to win, and it blew my mind. But I look at SmackDown's team, and I'm like, nah, SmackDown got to win, because like right now it's the Riot Squad and Bianca Belair, right? And maybe 2 spots are open, right? So I'm sitting there saying, well, what do you do to get Bianca? Because I feel like you build up Bianca Belair. Because I feel like the matchup for next year is her and Sasha. I just
Correct.
That's what I feel. That's the match.
I think you have somebody screw Bianca Belair out. It's gonna have to be a fuck finish to keep her looking strong.
Right.
But I think the money is in Lana winning, because listen, let's face facts, all 4 of you. Lana right now, 8 weeks in a row going through this table, this is the most important streak in all of wrestling.
Facts.
Quite possibly ever. And yes, that means I'm including the Undertaker streak. Thank you. I'm just going to let that simmer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line
Ron is speechless.
Shut up. The bottom line is Survivor Series is happening next week. Join us next Sunday as we have a prediction show before the pay-per-view, as well as a post show after the pay-per-view. And if you're lucky, we might do a live reaction show during the pay-per-view. But there was so many matches from 1987 to 2019 of the Survivor Series. Looking forward to seeing some more happening in 2020 next Sunday. Some people like it, some people don't, but it is a big four pay-per-view, and it is definitely here. I happen to be happy. I was at the 2009 Survivor Series. It's emanated from Washington, D.C., and I got to see a lot of good matches. I got to see Kofi Kingston and his feud and the height of his feud with Randy Orton do an amazing elimination on CM Punk and Randy Orton in about 7 seconds total. It was really good, really memorable. So, really enjoyable. Please make sure that you are sharing with us your favorite matches and memories and moments from Survivor Series, and make sure also that you're hitting that like button, that love button, that share button, that care button, and you're following us on all our social media. It's this week's UPR 2-year anniversary. Having an episode with you every single week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. A lot of surprises, some guests. You never know which co-host is going to pop up, whether it be a president or a past member, which one of you are going to show up, as well as which wrestlers are going to show up. So make sure you tune in to every single day, whether it be tomorrow for Monday Night Raw with Big Daddy Cool, as well as the technician immediately after Raw, whether it be on Tuesday for entertainment with myself, the Mark Victor Rodriguez, Cedar Superior, and the mystery James Best, whether it be on Wednesday where myself and Ricky Goldman will talk to you about AEW NXT, Thursday for another entertainment episode with myself, Mark C. Superior, and the mystery James Best, or Friday SmackDown with Bad Guy Jack and whoever's going to be on with him this week, which I believe is going to be the former co-host Dylan Kaplan. But make sure that you're joining us every single week on Sunday, and then of course on Sunday for the preview of the Survivor Series as well as the post-show Survivor Series. And we're going to be having all of us on for that episode emanating from New York City, which myself and technician will be in New York for. I just hope London Air champion. It probably will happen. I hate to tell you.
I'm sorry, Brady. It's going to happen, and it should have happened already. Listen, you asked earlier, why do I like her? I'll tell you why I like her. I like her because nobody else does. I like that everybody gets pissed off when she wins. I like it when internet wrestling chats and groups blow up because, oh my God, she can't wrestle, this and that. None of that matters. None of that matters to Vince McMahon. And quite honestly, whenever something goes wrong and everybody blows up, I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I hope she does beat Asuka. I hope she beats Charlotte. I hope she beats somebody.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
I love that.
When
you,
people blow
you like
up,
controversy, right, Steven?
You know Aaliyah Mysterio? Everybody's all upset about, oh, she's young. I love it. Love it. It's great. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, Vince. Never die. Live forever.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to outlive all of us.
Probably. He's going to be one of those
right.
people that are in the now meme vein memes that are like 101. So that's going to be Vince McMahon.
The big take us home.
All right,
take us home.
Thank you for this evening for our Survivor Series. Thank you for joining us this evening on our Survivor Series recap. You know, some of us like some stuff, some of us don't. But we definitely know that Survivor Series is one of the big four and one of the very best pay-per-views known to man. Therefore, we all have varied opinions on them, but we're all excited about next week's Survivor Series. So we can talk some more shit. So anyway, thank you for myself, and we'll start from top to bottom. For Bad Guy Jack, for Big Daddy Cool Diesel, for the Executive Champion, and for the Mark Victor Rodriguez. Thank you, everyone, and have an amazing evening. Oh, I don't have the thing ready. Put the little video. I don't have that ready. All right, so we just end the show? Like, that's what we're done. Okay, we're ending the show. Bye, everybody.
No, we can do the outro. Hold on. I got the outro. Hold on. Where is the outro? We don't have an outro? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we have an outro.